I'm expecting absolute cinema in the comments, as the kids say. I've done all of the obvious comparison videos in the past, you know, the Samsung flagship versus the Apple flagship, but what I've never done is sit here and give you my favourite smartphones across all of the categories. This isn't a best of awards thing, it's not the best of 2026, but what it is my take on the top 3 phones in each category. So flagship, mid-range, or everyday phone as I like to call it, budget, foldable, and then my best overall. And I mean right now. So it's the 14th of August 2026. You can't pick the right time to make a video like this because there's always something else coming. But the great news with that is that I can do this again. Equally, I can't satisfy everyone here. You won't agree with every single choice, but that's why the comments are down there. Just keep it civil, keep it fun. These are portable telephones. It's not worth getting all overly excited and angry about at all. Just give me your opinions down there and we can talk about it. When putting these videos together, I have to make lots of notes, and most of those notes are in my head, which brings me to this week's sponsor, which is the Comu Action Pro. This is a note-taking device, so this thing sits anywhere. It can sit on the back of your phone via MagSafe, or you can just pop it on the desk like I did, hit record and start waffling on or start recording the meeting. I did that for this video because there's about 16 phones here and I have lots of thoughts in my head. So I popped that on the desk. I started just waffling on about these phones. Then after that, it synced all of those notes to the Comu app. And from there, I had a transcript, I had a summary. It even gave me follow-up video ideas, collaboration suggestions, and quotable bits from those notes. So certain things that I said that I might want to mention in this video. I even created a PowerPoint presentation with one click. And it was just beautifully designed and so useful. Now the Comu Action Pro is the combination of hardware, which is very nice by the way, very light, very easy to carry around, slip in your bag, slip on the back of your phone, and the Comu app. So you have the two things together. It has 70 hours of battery life. It's also GDPR, HIPAA and SOC2 compliant, and has lifetime customer support, which is quite rare these days. There's also unlimited live transcription and basic summaries included, which other products like this don't always give for free. They often charge for that stuff. This little thing was so handy during the planning of this video, and you could find it very useful yourself. Go and click that link in the description. Right, let's get straight into it. The flagship category. In third place is the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm an Apple fanboy, and for many years, the Pro Max was the iPhone I went for automatically. That hasn't happened this year, or last year, for a reason that I'll explain later. But if you are an Apple person and you want the best of the best, this is obviously the one to go for. Equally, if you're coming into the Apple ecosystem and you want the top end phone that will not let you down in any way, shape or form, get this, and Cosmic Orange. It's mainly in that list because of the Cosmic Orange colour, which brings me conveniently to the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, which is also orange, or very, very nice Tundra colour, which is their kind of Hasselblad-inspired camera type thing. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best smartphone camera I've ever used. It's got a 10 times optical zoom, which we don't get very often these days at all. It's also very, very smudged. Apologies. If you want the best camera smartphone, get the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. It's as simple as that. If you can get it in your country, that's why it's in second place, because Oppo phones, it depends where you live, basically. In first place, it's the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. For the second year in a row, I've preferred this over any other flagship, and explaining why is quite tricky. I think it's a combination of what it looks like. I think it's just very purposeful, simple, and a very flagship type design. I love the colors that Samsung goes for. I'm very happy with the camera system. I think it's a very good camera. I think the combination of One UI and Galaxy AI is the best out there in terms of consumer-facing AI and just the overall operating system experience. Oh, and the display is amazing because it has that anti-reflective coating, which you don't get on any, well, you get, no, you do get it on two other phones here, but it's just the best phone on the market when it comes to flagships. Mid-range. Where does it start? Where does it end in terms of pricing? I have no idea, honestly. That's why I'm not quoting pricing in this video, because I think it's very confusing where things start and end. It doesn't matter. However, if you are looking for a phone that isn't a flagship, that's just too much for you, and the budget side of things is a bit scary, then the everyday phone, the mid-range phone, is what you need to go for. In third place, we have the Pixel 10. Now, I'm fully aware that the Pixel 11 has just come out. However, I don't have that in the studio, and even if I did have it, 14th of August, there's an embargo at the moment, so I couldn't talk about it. But the fact the Pixel 11 has now come out means the Pixel 10 is a bit of a bargain. My review of this is one of my most watched videos, and every day, virtually, I get comments about this phone, which means there's still a lot of interest in it. And for good reason. It's a really good phone. It has Pixel Snap, which means you can use MagSafe accessories like the Comu Action Pro. The camera's fantastic, the display is lovely, the build quality, the look, the colors. Google really understands smartphone colors, and just the overall experience of using a very unfettered version of Android and having access to all of the Gemini stuff built in. It's brilliant. In second place, we have the Oppo Find X9 Pro. Now, if the Find X9 Ultra is way too much for you, both in terms of the pricing and just the fact it's massive and has this colossal camera bump, I totally get that. Just get the X9 Pro. It's one of the best Android smartphones on the market, if not possibly the best. It's up there. It's vying for that, honestly. It's got the Hasselblad camera system still. It doesn't have the 10 times optical zoom, but that doesn't matter, to be honest. In everyday life, this will absolutely knock your socks off when it comes to photography. And in first place, we have the iPhone 17, which I don't have here because we gave it away in a competition, but I did review it, and I think Apple has nailed that mid-range smartphone. The iPhone 17, I think, is the pinnacle of what you can get for that money. Budget phones. Now, again, this is quite hard to define because of one, the pricing, and two, the feature sets. Even at this low end of the market, you get very, very good camera systems, amazing displays, incredible batteries, and great build quality. So again, it's very hard to separate the mid-range from the budget, but I have to do that, obviously. In third place, we have the Xiaomi 17T. This has a Leica-inspired, Leica-influenced camera system, a very good build quality for the price, some lovely colors, a great display, a great version of Android. Not much more I can say about it apart from the fact that Xiaomi deserves to be in this list somewhere, and I think they most deserve to be in the budget section. Not for any bad reason, but because they know how to make these phones that don't cost very much and give you an awful lot of functionality. So that is a lovely phone. In second place, we have the iPhone 17e, which is the most expensive budget phone in this budget category, but it is a budget iPhone, and it's the most iPhone ever. I used the 16e for nearly a year last year and loved it. The camera, yes, is a little bit restrictive, and back then that one didn't have MagSafe, but this one does. Yes, the display is 60 Hz, it's not ProMotion, but most people who buy this phone, which is a lot of people, don't care. It just does the job. In first place for budget phones, we have the Nothing Phone 4B. I will quote the pricing for this. It's 300 quid, which is nothing. Literally. The camera system is okay, but it's good enough for this category, and it's interesting. Look at the design of the camera bump. Nothing does that very well. They have reduced their design flair over the last few years, but that's not for a bad reason. I think it was the right thing to do. The display is fantastic. It cuts no corners. The operating system, Nothing OS, is one of the best versions of Android out there, and if you just want an interesting, different phone that gives you loads and loads of value for money, get the 4B. Just don't go onto Nothing's website, because there's so many phones on there and you'll get so confused. This is the one to get. Foldable phones. Okay, I feel like I've made so many videos about these recently. Well, two in particular, but it's a category that's getting more and more interesting for one very specific reason. In third place, we have the Oppo Find N6. At the moment, it has a case on it. In fact, it's got a case on it because that illustrates that it comes with, well, I think this is optional, but it does have the option of a stylus, which you don't get with every foldable these days. But if I take that off, you can get a look at it. It's a lovely phone, this. Really, really capable in terms of camera system, operating system experience, multitasking, the build quality, the specs. It's possibly should be top of the list, but I just prefer something else for a reason I'll explain in a moment. But it's very, 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 very good. In second place, we have the Samsung Z or Z Fold 8 Ultra. If you want the best foldable that has, I think, the most R&D behind it in terms of just many, many years of iterating things behind the scenes and getting stuff right, like the hinge durability and all that kind of thing, and the operating system. Again, the combination of One UI and Galaxy AI, I think, is unmatched, particularly on a foldable. And this is the safe choice for that reason. There's no bad thing about that. In first place, yes, you know, if you've been watching this channel for the last few weeks, you know what this is going to be. It's the Fold 8. It is a brand new passport-sized foldable from Samsung, and I love it to death. It's my new favorite phone. It's just, oh, it's so good. You'll need to watch my videos about it for the full breakdown, but the key thing with it for me is that it's made me intentional about how I use my foldable. Normally with these phones, I get about a month, 2 months into using them, and doing that happens less because I just don't have a reason for it. I don't think that's going to happen with this because you get three very distinct use cases. You get the front screen, which looks like that. You then get the internal display, which looks like that or that. And again, go and watch my video to get the full breakdown of what I'm doing with it, but it's just brilliant. Which brings me to my best overall phone. Before I get to my best overall phone, just some honorable mentions, starting with, conveniently, the Honor 600 Pro. I've not reviewed this because so much happened in the last 3 or 4 months, and this came out during that period, and it, unfortunately, and sorry Honor, that's totally on me, it got left behind in terms of the video planning. However, I have used it and I've spoken to a lot of fellow tech YouTuber reviewer people, and the consensus is that it's very, very good. It's a mid-range phone, but it gives you nigh on flagship stuff as well. So Honor, it's brilliant. I completely agree with those people that said that. iPhone Air. This didn't make the list because I think it's a niche choice, but it's been my favorite iPhone of the past few years. It's just been a breath of fresh air, and I've realized that the battery is actually fine. If you use it normally and you don't constantly travel around the world, it works absolutely fine, as does the camera system. But it's the design, it's the thinness, obviously, but it's just something about this phone which has made it my standard iPhone for the last few months, which is why I'm not using that anymore. I think that says a lot about the iPhone Air. Then we have, I always forget what this one is, this, because they make so many phones, the Motorola Edge 60 Fusion. Incredible value. Go and look at the price. You will not believe it. You will not believe what you get for that. And also, it's Motorola. They make brilliant devices and they have a huge fan base. I love the fact they're still around, still making this stuff and choosing colors like that. And then we have the Motorola Razr Fold. That didn't make the foldable category. I know that will annoy some people, but in my defense, I did review this very highly. It feels a bit chunkier than the rest. It probably isn't. I had a lot of people tell me off for that. I think it's the camera mound, if you like, which feels just a bit thicker, but it doesn't matter. And they've done that for good reason, because it's a very good camera system. It's a very, very good foldable. But, big drum roll. That was terrible. My favorite out of all of these is the Z Fold 8. For all of the reasons that I've just explained, and for reasons that are in my full review, which we'll link to at the end of this video. But guys, it's over to you. I know you've got thoughts. I know you don't agree. I know you've got phones in your head that you're thinking, why on earth didn't he put that in the list? Get involved and hit that subscribe button. Future Mark here. We published this video a little bit later than we thought we would, but the good news on that front is that I can at least mention and reference and show you the Google Pixel 11 Pro XL, because that review embargo has passed. However, it didn't make this video because I didn't have it when I put this video together. Really simple stuff, but I do have a full review of this phone live now, and it's really worth watching because I think it says a lot about the smartphone industry, and it's a brilliant companion piece to this video. What an amazing segue. Keep watching for a link to the full review of this. That stain, don't worry about it. The sunroof was open, it had been raining last night and water came in. It doesn't matter.